So, hello everybody. This is my office hours, which is weekly on Monday, 8 p.m. Israel time. And in this office hours, I'm choosing a subject and I'm talking about it. And later I upload it to YouTube, but you can join the office hours and the link. So let me share my screen. So, um, as I said, office hour is weekly meeting. And what I want to talk this time is about enum and select. So this is in TypeScript, of course. And to understand, I'm sure that most of you enum-based select, TypeScript, React. And I'm sure that all of you know what is enum, what is select. But just to first show you the link to the office hours, you will see it here or here. And if you go here to quiz, this is an application that I have created using Next.js. You will see here to select. This is select the type of the quiz, and this will select the size of the quiz. So select is a very popular UI widget. Select HTML. So this is how it look. But in case I have an enum on one side and I want to present it and allow the user to choose it. So this pattern occurs a lot. Here on one page, I have it twice, and you have it many, many times. So enum, you don't have enum in JavaScript, you have enum in TypeScript. So I was thinking about doing a component that gets the enum as as props and simply create the select. So this is what I want to talk about today. And I have prepared a GitHub repository. And if you go to here and look for enum, you will see the repository. This is the repository. Just want to check one thing. Yes, I'm still recording. Yes. Okay. So this is the repository, and you see that the usage is very, very simple. You need to provide it. This is the component, generic enum-based-select. It's a React component with three parameters: the enum, change handler, and the default value. So let's see an example. So we go to React Select enum playground. I already have it on my machine. Let's see. React Select. Okay, so first let's invoke it and see what we have. And let's see. Okay, so I need to install the packages. And I will use pnpm, which is performance npm. You can use npm if you want, but I recommend you to use pnpm because it's has better performance in terms of disk space and running time. So pnpm install, and now it will install all the dependency. I'm using here React, but the idea of creating a component that render select given an enum, it's not specific to React. It's simple for me to use it, but you can take the idea and take part of the code and use it in other TypeScript framework which don't use React, even not with framework, even with vanilla TypeScript and DOM. What you see here that pnpm is looking for the packages, and he's reusing 84 already, only downloading 13. So already I'm saving disk space and time of downloads. So most of the packages are reused, but you don't have to use it. I'm simply um, suggesting it. But this is not the main issue of this office hour. The project is a Vite project. So you see here Vite on the development, have dependencies, and TypeScript because I'm using TypeScript. Enum exists only on TypeScript, not on JavaScript. And dependency are React and React DOM because I'm using web. Well, it does take more time to download. Not sure, understand why, but for sure, this space is much better when using pnpm because he's storing all the packages here. And if he already have the package, he will not download it again. So in the meantime, let's look at the code. So this is the structure of the project. There is a component directory. Here I have the generic enum. Maybe I will close it again. I don't know why it's taking so long. So pnpm install. Okay, so now it's okay. npm and dev. The fact that I have installed using pnpm doesn't mean that I cannot run the script with npm. So I will run it. And you see here that I have here, this is the component, this is the lib. Here I have a few functions and types. Here I have enum for color. And on the app.t6, I'm using this. I have the following. I want to present color enum, so this is it. This is the change handler. So every time that the select option is changing, this change handler is called, and we are setting the set color. And this is the set color. So the enum, in this case, works with useState. But this is the change handler, and the default value is the color. So at the beginning, so this is the enum. This is the change color. and this is the default value, and this is it. So I can um, change here to red, and you see that it is changing. Suppose that I have another enum. Um, Suppose I have enum country dot yes. Okay, so I will have here country. So suppose I have Israel, USA, and England. And I want to allow the user to choose a country. So let's go here, and I will do the following. I will have a state for country. So country, set country, and let's choose. So suppose I'm choosing, now here I need to choose the correct one, country dot England. And now the country is type this enum. If I want to make sure that it used only with the country enum, then I can put here following. So if I'm doing this and we'll try to do this, it will not work because I'm saying here, this is generic. This is part of TypeScript. But if I'm saying, hey, this state is of type country, then I cannot input this. So maybe this is, it protects you by not allowing anything beside color here and country here. So country dot England. Okay. So now I simply need to do, let's copy paste this. And this is country state. And put here so I want to put here country, and enum is of type, not color, but country. And here option is of type country, and the default value is this. color. So you see how TypeScript give me protection because set color is of type using the color, and now I'm simply need to put here set country. Um, I may improve design by maybe providing um, this generic enum based select with enum and maybe not. So you see here that this is very simple. This is generic. You put here the enum. This is color. This is country. This is the state. Set color here, set country. And you put it a default value. Let's see what we have. Okay, so you see how simple it is. I did not have to do almost nothing. And if I change here, so this is changing. If I'm changing here, this is changing. So um, this is how to use the the component. If we look inside it, inside the code, this is a component and it has props, and this is the props that you get. I don't need this. So let's see what we have. This is actually the select. This is the HTML element, JS6 element, with the default value and the on change. This is the property, the props. These are two functions in my utils. And you see that I have an array. You can see here that I have an array of key and value. So given the enum, maybe color, you get an array of key and value. And the key of value, this is the key and this is the value. Maybe we will console log this so you will see it. This is the array, and this is the okay. Let's refresh. Okay, so this is the array. As I said, I'm expecting here an array of key and value. This is for color, and you see this is the key, and this is the value, key, value, key, value. And here I get the default value as enum. Okay, this is green. And this will be, this is for the color, and this is for the country. Now, this is because of React double invoking the component. So here you will see the country and this. So this is how, this is the array, and this is the default value. And let's console of this. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so this is actually the select with the option and the key. And using this, we can create the select element. So I have the component, I have the utils, I have enum, and I have the interface. This is the design, and this is how to use it. So this is the first part of this meeting. And what I want to show you now is how I'm doing unit test on this component. And this component has actually in two parts, as most application has. It has UI part and it has a logic part, and this is the logic part. Okay, has nothing to do with UI, and this is the UI part. So when you want to unit test your application, you need a test runner, and you can use Jest or vitest. Because I'm already inside Vit, it is easy for me to use vitest, so I will install it on development. So do pnpm I minus d vit test. This will install vitest on development. Okay, so you will see now it is here. And now I need to create, to tell him that need to create the script test vitest. And I want to create also here the directory for testing. So test. Now every file inside here, for example, a.test.ts, if the file has the test between this dot, it will be considered as a test file, and vitest will try to run it. So run it, you do to create a test, you do something like this. So first, you need to import test and expect from vitest. And now you can do the following. You can do test. This is my test. Um, check it is working. And now we can expect one to be okay. And now to run it, we simply need to do npm test. This will invoke the script, this script. Here. Okay, and if I have a mistake, suppose I'm putting here 11, you will see that he's complaining. He said, I'm expecting 1, but got 11. Okay, so let's back. Now it should be okay. Okay, so this is just to show you how the test is working, but now I want to maybe test one of the logic part. Okay, so I have here this. I'm using this function, and let's test this function. Okay, so we will create let's rename this utils because we are using utils. We can remark this, and let's make a test. Is okay for follow. Okay. Okay, let's see how it is invoked. Let's okay, so we're simply passing it the enum, and let's do something like this. So, and the enum in, so let's quick fix. And the enum in my case, it's color. Okay, so let's put here color. Okay, and the array is an array of I enum key value. So we know that it should be size 3 because the color has 3 items. Okay, so effect array length be 3. Okay, you see it is working. And so let's do it quick and dirty. So I set array 0 dot key to be this. Let's see if it is true. Okay. Okay. Let's change it. Okay. And if it is one is green and 2 is blue. So we've checked that the key is okay. Now let's check the value. So now it will be wrong because it's not read like this. It is read like this. So we will need to change it like green, blue. Now it should work. Okay, so this is small unit test, and we are testing the logic. But now I want to test the UI, and to test the UI, I need to test the component. Okay, so let's copy it, copy the name, and go to the test and create dot test, and now dot ts6, because the component is a TSX file. And to use the, so first I need to render. So let's copy it from here. Let's first see that we can render this component in this test, and you need to understand something, that this test is run by vitest, and this is actually a node application, and this is a node application, so it can run enum, no problem with this, but how can it render? How can node render the component? So node and vitest can render the component using first JSDOM, this library, and JSDOM can actually emulate the DOM, okay? Because the DOM live inside the browser. We are not here inside the browser. We are here inside vitest, which is run by Node. So we need to emulate the DOM and just emulate the DOM. But it's not enough because we need to render React. So to render React, we need React test library. Okay, so let's look for React testing library and install it. Okay. This is how we install it. Let's simply put here a default test. Okay, now it should be okay. Okay. To install React testing library, and let's do it. Okay. Oops. I want to install it using pnpm. So you see again that most of the packages is reused because I'm using it in a few other projects. Let's see how we can render this component. Suppose we want to render a div. So I have an example. Okay. So you see that I need to I need to do the following. I need to import render and screen from testing library React. Now let's try to render um, then enum based with color. No, let's render the application because it will be more easier for me. Okay, so npm and dev. Okay, this is the application. So let's first verify that we have, and this is the app, right? We have this text. Okay, so um, exist in app component. Okay, we saw that it exists, right? This is the app. This is here it is, right? Let's see how we do it. Okay, so first we need to render the app. And to render the app, we do render. This is it. Render. And this is the render. We need to take the render from here, from the testing library. And we need to provide it with the app. Okay. We need to import it. Okay, so now this is render, but again, it is not render on the DOM because we don't have a browser. It is render on something that is called JS DOM. Okay, so if we look on the testing library, this testing library must be must be dependent on JS DOM. Okay, let's maybe check here. Um, okay, I don't see it. I don't know where it is, but it should depend on JS DOM. Okay, so now let's do the following. This is the assert. where this is we are doing the rendering. So now it appears on JS DOM. Now let's expect screen find by text. We want to find what? We want to find this. To be in find by text. To be truth. Okay. We want to find this text inside the screen. Okay. So control this. Let's okay. Let's add here. Oops. Okay. The problem is that um, vitest does not know that he need to emulate the JS DOM. So let's see. We need to set up the config file JS DOM. Okay. Let's do test. To make it more easier, I will use the repository that I'm using in my coming unit test course. This is my coming course, unit testing of a real-world TypeScript system. And if you look here, you will see .ts, and I will simply copy it. Okay, we don't need this, but we do need to tell Vite that we are working with JS DOM. Okay, so I will copy this. Let's see if we have here. Pit config. Okay. So I will add test. And add this too. And also this. Okay, what I've done here is simply tell read config, listen, in test, you should work with the environment of JS DOM. So now he should know what is document. Now let's see. Let's run it again. Let's close it. No, not this. And pim test. Okay, we are in a progress because now he understands that he needs to look for JS DOM. Do you want to install? Yes. Now you see that. Um, uh, let's tell him to install it with pnpm. JS DOM. Install. Again, npm test. Now it should know what is document is. Okay, see it now. It is working. Very nice. So, so now if I will put here 1, it will not work. Oops. So not working. So I have a problem here. Let's see this. Okay. So you see here that it's showing us the render component, the render app. See it here, and I will simply now remove this. Now it should be okay. Yes, and if I will add here, so I should be using get by text and by text. Because find by text return promise, and I'm not waiting for the promise, so I will stick with the get by text. Get by text return HTML element, so this should be okay. So this is working nice, and let's let's look for this. So let's change. Yes. Um, test exists in app component, and now we will render app. And we will expect this to be true C. Okay? Let's see what we get. Okay, now let's make it fail. Yes. And we can also make this. So let's copy it. Country, state, England. Let's see what the test is doing. Yeah, let's add it. One here. Yes. Let's give it back. Okay. And so the test is working. And now suppose I made a mistake or someone made a mistake and maybe um, remark one component by mistake. So what do you think will happen with this? So I want the test to fail because I'm expecting it to appear. Okay. And if I bring it back, then it is okay. So let's now mark this with a tag. Okay, so git head -a, git commit -m, add country enum and unit test, git push. Okay, git tag. Let's make it 1.3. 1 -a 1.3 git push. Okay, go over our plan. So I'm recording it and I will upload it on my YouTube. I'm talking in English. Office hours are Monday, every Monday at Israel time. Um, and this is the enum based select. This is the repository. This is the repository. Okay, you can simply go to my repositories and look for enum. And you will see here that I have a generic component, and I've used it here in app.t6 with uh, color enum and country enum, and I'm just using the properties and the package, and it is working. And so I have explained how to use unit test using vitest, and I have two tests, one for part of the logic. I'm not covering all. If I will invoke coverage test, it will fail. Um, maybe maybe we will do it. Maybe another time. Um, so I'm just testing one function and part of the UI, not all the UI. But this is how you should do it. Thank you.